All right, good morning, boys and girls. So that bastard over at Ted Red instead tagged me on this, so why the heck not? Anyhow, there is a tag going around, basically questions for booktubers. So this is the list of questions, and this is my list of answers. Do with it what you may. First, Ted, since he was complaining about how warm it is, I will trade you. It is 25 degrees in Omaha right now. I grew up in Phoenix. This is not copacetic. That's all I'm saying. So how many channels are you subscribed to? That was the first question. This one shocked me. First of all, I couldn't find an easy way to look it up, so I went to counting. Second of all, I am subscribed to 109 channels. What the heck? And some of you ain't posting anything because I know you haven't shown up in my feed in a while. But anyhow, BookTube channels are probably, and I'll throw in with BookTube channels a few author channels, probably 80% of those. There's maybe 3 to 5% possibly are friends and family. Another 5% are probably work related. And the last 10% are probably YouTube related. Guys like Harris Heller or vidIQ, or things about how to use OBS, things about how to set up your camera, the tech stuff. So that is it. 109 channels, though. Oh, my word, that's ridiculous. And then there's that weird guy, Jacksepticeye, that's just thrown in there for fun, who I don't think has posted in a while. I'm going to have to look. I can't remember the last time I saw a video of his pop up. Anyhow, that's my answer to the first question. Second question, when do you normally watch BookTube? I can tell you Monday mornings. Monday mornings I watch The Weekly Reader by John Minton, and I watch Town Square whenever it drops, obviously. The rest of it, I just fit you in when I can. I work 2 jobs, so usually during the day, if I'm working on something, I'll probably have a YouTube video going in the background, providing it's not something I have to, providing I'm not editing a video or something where I can't have 2 audios going at once. And if I'm off at night and my wife is watching something I have absolutely no interest in, I'll also pop one in. I try to keep up with everybody. Obviously, I'm not keeping up with 110 channels. That's all there is to it. Is there a difference, question 3, between videos that I like watching and videos I like making? Abso-freaking-lutely there is. I love watching top 10 videos. I hate making top 10 videos because sometimes, in my head, trying to sort between book 6 and book 7 and which one goes on top of the other, and which one fits into book 10 and who gets left out. It's just crazy. I hate doing it. I'm good with top 2, 1A and 1B, Count of Monte Cristo and Swan Song. Those are my top 2. Everybody else is vying for third. That's all I'm saying. So number 4. Actually, I got those backwards. That was actually number 4. Number 3 was, how do you balance watching videos, reading books, and making your own videos? Obviously, I don't. Have you seen my channel? I am going forward. I've got the big thing, for the videos. Every Wednesday, starting this Wednesday, is a book review. Well, I've actually already got 2 in the can, so I'm good for the next 2 weeks. Every Friday is either going to be a weekly review, a monthly review, or if it's the last Friday of the month, it's going to be, what I'm looking forward to the next month. So 2 videos a week are set. If there's a third video, it's going to be something like this one, which is just a one-off, or obviously author interviews are still my bread and butter. Which also ties into that 4th question. Not every booktuber does author interviews or doesn't do them regularly. I try to have one every month. So, that's it. I am getting my videos balanced out a little bit better so that you guys know when I'm going to post something instead of just waiting to see what I drop and when. Reading, I'm just fitting it in where I can. Like I said, I'm working 2 jobs, so sometimes if I'm super tired, audiobooks are still my backdrop. I'll pop one in before I go to bed. And hopefully I'll finish a chapter before I fall asleep. Otherwise, I'm going to be listening to that chapter again tomorrow. Anyhow, that is it for those four. Number 5, who is the first booktuber that you watched, or excuse me, you subscribed to, and do you still watch them? It has been a hot minute, but I am 99.9% sure that my gateway drug to BookTube was Mike's book reviews, and yes, I still do watch him. That's probably the gateway drug for a lot of you. When I started watching Mike, I didn't even know. Don't get me wrong. There's a few bigger. Daniel Green has a huge subscriber base. That's the word I'm looking for. So does Jack Edwards. I didn't even know who those guys were when I discovered Mike. But Mike has, pretty much everybody I've followed since then is either because I heard about them from Mike or I heard about them from somebody that I heard about from Mike. So almost 100% sure it was Mike. Okay. Number 6, who is the most recent booktuber you subscribe to? I'm not good with time frames, but I'm pretty sure it's one of these two. I believe the newest one that I had not heard of before was Books with Emily Fox. Or it might possibly have been, and I've actually followed him probably longer, but I didn't realize I hadn't subscribed to him yet. Derry's read it before. One of those two were my most recent. As much as I hate to say it, it might have been Derry. But I've watched Derry's channel before. I've watched I've watched Derry on other channels. I've watched other people on Derry's channel. I just didn't realize I hadn't subscribed. And now she's like one of those 111, people I subscribe to. Number 7, what have I learned from watching other booktubers? Consistency is number 1. Everybody, if you watch this channel, I did everything backwards. I started out doing author events over on Twitch, and then I would just post the edited versions up to YouTube because after 60 days, videos on Twitch fall off the platform. And so I was never going to have anybody watching anything more than 60 days old unless I put it somewhere that it would stay up, which is why I plopped it on YouTube. So that is, I look at other YouTube. Once I started watching other booktubers is when I started learning about what are the stuff you're supposed to probably be doing. Things like weekly reviews, things like book hauls, which I still haven't done a lot of, things like top 10s, which I've avoided like the plague, but I know I'm supposed to be doing them. Things like book reviews, which I know aren't huge on BookTube, but I still get a few book reviews that do actually pretty well. Most of them, at least get double digits, which isn't a huge viewership, but for book reviews, when I've only got like 9,000 subscribers, people aren't here for the book reviews for the most part, but sometimes it does get people to find me. I've got a few that for whatever reason have hit 100, a couple hundred, and then I've got that weird one, Womb City, which has over 2,000 views, and I've only got 9,000 subscribers, so I don't know. Anyhow, so basically I've learned that there's a whole lot of other stuff I'm supposed to be doing other than just author events, because if you're only dropping 1 to 2 videos a month, you're not really bringing people back. They don't know when you're going to drop something. I get it. Anyhow, so consistency is number 1. Number 2 is that I can't afford this job, y'all. Being a booktuber, don't get me wrong, to a certain extent, I have a lot of books that I've gotten for free, so I can't complain about that. Advanced reading copies, advanced listening copies, all that good business. So, for that end, things like, well, what do you mean you can't afford it? I mean, I watch people like Petrick's channel, and I see some of the stuff that, Mike or some of the other guys have bring in Brian, talking about broken binding and some of this stuff. And I look at those and I'm like, yeah, I got a lot of free books, but I can't afford $250 a book either. Some of those books are expensive. Anyhow, they do make for a pretty back shelf. However, as you can tell by my back shelf, there's not a whole lot of special editions back there. There's a few paperbacks. There might be an ARC. I'm just saying. And to tie that all off with, why I can't afford to be a booktuber is the more booktube channels I watch, the more episodes I watch, the more people I'm introduced to. There are authors that I had never heard of before I started watching other booktube channels. In fact, first breaking news here, my interview in January is with Teresa Frohock. I had never heard of her. She goes by T. Frohock. Never heard of her except for I was watching this month's Town Square over on Talking Story, John Minton's channel, and author Dennis Myers started talking about her book and why we should read it. And I kind of started thinking, that sounds interesting. I kind of need to read that. So I'm going to be reading that and talking to her on Monday in January. So anyhow, again, I can't afford this job. That's what I've learned from other booktubers. The last one was optional, and I'm actually going to skip it, and I'll tell you why. It is tag your favorite booktubers. I've probably mentioned a bunch of them already in this thing. B, I'm going to tag any booktuber that I've already talked about while I was babbling. And they're going to see that they got tagged in here. And so if they want to, they're most certainly welcome to do a video like this. If they don't, I'm not tagging them, asking them to do that. They just got mentioned while I was talking. And, I don't know who's already been tagged. So anyhow, that is it. My voice is a little rough this morning, so I'm going to cut this off now. Don't normally do this, but it's a Monday, and I didn't have anything else exciting going on. So this will be my optional third video of the week. Do not expect one every week. And I will catch you later.